Hey there, folks. My name is Dale Gladding, and I just posted what I consider to be one of the most important articles I've ever written on my political blog, dalegladding.com. It's entitled, "The GOP is Missing the Mark," and it refers to the recent curriculum revisions in the Florida State Social Studies curriculum that was passed by the state legislature and signed into law by Governor DeSantis. Now, let me make it clear. I support most of the revisions, and I'm a big fan of Governor DeSantis. But the reference to slavery as having some ancillary benefits, personal benefits, to those that were enslaved, I find morally reprehensible. I don't think it was intended to be insensitive, but it was hurtful and harmful just the same. Can you make an argument that black slaves were taught how to read and write by their white masters? Yeah, historically, you can make that argument. Is it a smart thing to do? Is it a helpful thing to do? Or is it harmful, insulting, and insensitive to those black Americans who to this day can trace their lineage back to slavery and to Jim Crow and to the civil rights movement? Do I believe that racism is systemic in America? No, I don't. I think we've moved on a long ways, made some great improvements on becoming a more perfect union. But to revisit that issue in such a way and to infer that there were personal benefits incurred by those that were enslaved, that were sold as pieces of property, families that were torn apart, women that were raped, folks, that is insulting beyond measure. Along the same lines, can you make an argument that without the extermination of 6 million Jews in the Nazi death camps, we wouldn't have had a nation of Israel in 1948? Yeah, you can make that argument. Is it a smart thing to do? No. Is it insulting? Yes. Is it demeaning to Jewish Americans? Absolutely, positively. And so I would encourage Governor DeSantis and the Florida State Legislature. They were well-meaning, they were well-intentioned, but stop doubling down on a mistake. Do a mea culpa. Admit that you were wrong in inferring that there were any ancillary benefits, that there was a single silver lining to the abomination, the crime against humanity that slavery was and remains to be to this day in other nations around the world. Folks, what the Republican Party needs to understand is that the vast majority of voters base their ballot on a combination of facts and feelings. And yes, we might win the intellectual battle, but we're going to lose the electoral war. Virtually every presidential election from 1932 onward, the winning candidate was the one that connected emotionally with the voters. FDR was perceived as caring more about the common man than Herbert Hoover. And so he won 4 consecutive elections in the 30s and 40s. Dwight Eisenhower and Lyndon Baines Johnson, people felt, believed emotionally that they could keep them safe from the Soviet Union in the midst of a Cold War. Jimmy Carter was elected because he promised that he would never lie to us in the aftermath of Watergate. Bill Clinton said he could feel our pain. And in my estimation, way too many voters believed him and took him at his word. And he spent 8 years in the Oval Office. And Barack Obama, when asked, people said they would rather have a beer with him than the irascible John McCain and the robotic Mitt Romney. Republicans, choose the hill you want to die on. You can rewrite history, and you can be even historically accurate to a degree, and you're going to be stepping on the toes, ripping apart wounds, and insulting your black American brothers and sisters. Do the right thing. Folks, I encourage you, visit dalegladding.com, read my article, and tell me what you think. God bless you.